Welcome to Conversations in the Closet. I am your host, Teresa Romer, and today I have my good buddy and friend, Maz.
Hey, Teresa. Hey, everybody.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, same here. Always a pleasure being on your show, Teresa.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm just sickened.
Sickened
I
by.
I just can't. Good Lord. I mean, so sexual harassment is out of control in this world. I mean, like maybe it's always been this bad, but it's been brought to our attention so much in the media lately. It's horrible. And
Well, it's gotten to the point where so many job openings are being created. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I think it's being really exaggerated lately.
I do, but I think the reason I'm so sickened is because this man I truly admired. I have no idea why, other than I have literally watched him on the Today Show for the last 20 years, and I've enjoyed him. I liked his personality. I liked every time he had a different co-host. I welcomed them with arms. But I really liked Matt Lauer, and this past week to find out that he was fired for sexual harassment. I mean, I always knew in the news that he was cheating on his wife. I understand that, and it sickened me that he was even cheating on his wife. But now to find out that he's been fired for sexual harassment on the job at the Today Show, I'm just sick to my stomach.
Well, here's a question. How bad was it for you knowing that he's cheating on his wife?
I think okay, number one, he's not a close personal friend of mine, so that separates
of course.
Right.
But as a fan, as someone that liked him,
right. But so what I'm yes.
Did it help? Did it help migrate it for you to the point of this sexual harassment case?
Let's just put it this way: we hear of celebrities having affairs on their spouses and girlfriends, boyfriends all the time. And as far as I'm concerned, they're a celebrity. I'm not connected to them. I don't condone what they're doing, but you read about the crap in those magazines all the time.
Right.
So in my eyes, Matt Lauer was a celebrity, a news media celebrity. And so for me to hear that he was cheating on his wife all the time, I thought, oh, here we go, another celebrity, but it made me sad because I did like him, that he had to cheat on his wife. And it made me even sadder that she just continued to stand by his side and be married to him. And, she'd been living in their home, I think in Long Island or wherever it's at. And, he's been living in the city for, I don't know how many years.
I think, well, his career started in 1997 with the Today Show.
Right.
And it was not just a regular career. I mean, he was one of the highest paid anchors on TV.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're talking about a $20 million deal just going through it. He had a $20 million salary.
28 million.
There you go.
28 million, guys. And for some reason, because he was the golden boy.
Hey, can I be honest with you? I didn't see any talents in him whatsoever.
I'm not saying that there was talent, but for some reason, people liked him.
People liked him because he had that charisma on TV, but he did not know how to do one proper interview.
No, but what I'm trying to say is somehow he became the golden boy of the news. He was like, everybody loved him. He was able to help keep the NBC ratings up there as number one forever and ever and ever. NBC just loved him. So it makes me wonder how much they really did know about his infidelity and his sexual harassment, but they covered it up because they wanted the ratings to stay up there all the time.
Yeah.
It really does question. I mean, like, I have to question NBC. And I know they're putting their stuff out there right now saying, oh, we didn't know anything about it.
Well, let me tell you one thing, Teresa. Let me tell you one thing. I kind of believe them because at this point, everybody is coming out and saying that they've been sexually harassed.
Yes.
Back in the days, you didn't know if you should take that charge seriously or not unless they press charges against the person. There was no charges filed against these people. But now, all of a sudden, it's trending. I'm going to say that I've been sexually harassed. I'm a woman, and I can say what, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying this right now. But honest to God, just because you are a woman or a female does not mean that you can make up stories and say that you've been sexually harassed. And if you have been sexually harassed, I am behind you 100%. But why didn't you properly take actions during that time so you could stop this chain reaction happening to other people working in that environment? And I'm not believing this, oh, I was too scared to come out. Why are
No.
you not scared to come out now? Because
Right.
100 different people.
Right.
That does not make sense. Everybody is doing their own fight alone. So it's not like a group of people came out and said something about one person. Um, I think that this is becoming way out of hand. I think that if you have any harassment charges against someone, press them and get it done with.
Well,
Whether you're a man or a woman, get
right.
it done with. Do it. And don't drag it on and come back after 20 years and say, well, he sent me a dildo.
Right. Well,
Well, why didn't you report it back then?
right. So, as a woman, I'm going to speak on this now. And being in the health and fitness industry for over 35 years, let's face it, guys. The health and fitness industry back in the day was pretty much a man's world. Like very few women were health club owners and so on and so forth. And I can't tell you how many times I had men that I worked with say something like, "Oh my God, your ass looks good in that outfit today," or "Wow, look at your cleavage today." I mean, like, I can't tell you how many times I was slapped on the ass. I can't tell you how many times I was flirted with or told dirty jokes with. I mean, like, so let's draw a line in the sand here, guys. Like, what? Let's define sexual harassment. Oh my God, you got a dildo in the mail. Oh, big deal. Oh, so what? I mean, like, I can't tell you how many times men would come on to me or whistle or this or that. I mean, and I'm sorry, maybe I'm just a strong enough woman. I don't know, but I was able to say stuff to them like, "Do you really want to go there? Do we need to call HR right now?" You know, I mean, and they would stop. It would be over with, or there'd be times that I would just go along with it because it was like, what the hell? I mean, like, it's going to happen anyways. I mean, like, back, I was a little girl and I used to watch those commercials and I can't remember what commercial it was, but it would be a commercial where the woman would be walking past a job site and there'd be construction guys sitting there and they'd whistle as she walked by. And I remember back then thinking, "Oh wow, she was a pretty lady. They're whistling at her," But if you really looked at it, it was sexual harassment. Oh my God, those men shouldn't be whistling at that woman. I mean, like, it's like people are taking, to me, sexual harassment right now out of context. I mean, like, yes, I do believe that if a woman has been locked in a room and groped, or if she's been thrown on the floor and attacked and raped. I mean, yes. I mean, God forbid, report it. But just because someone sends you a dildo in the mail or sends you something provocative or says something to you, I mean, come on, people. We are grown ass women here. If I bent over and my cleavage hung out and some guy said, "Wow, nice view, just stay there a little longer," I would look at him and say, "You're a goddamn pig," slap him, and then go report it, Or I would just go, "Thank you very much."
Well, that's what I'm
Whatever.
trying to
I'm like,
tell you. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm not promoting this. I know I personally have put several comments under posts from my from people on my social media, and they've attacked me. Why? Why do you say this? No, you can't just say just because a woman is saying this, it's 100% accurate. You don't understand. That woman lives in a country where you have the right. Women rule America. Let me tell you this. In California, I personally know this. Right here, a woman can call the cops and get her rights immediately to protect herself. And we have O.J. Simpson to thank for that. This is not a country that we deprive women from their human rights. You have every resource in your hand to go and report this. Every resource. You are a woman. You have that power. You can do it. You have the law enforcement, you have attorneys, you have this, you have that, you have bosses, you have everything. I'm a business owner. If someone comes to me and says, one of your people, I have my secretary, I have a lot of women that work for me, as you know, and if one of them comes up to me and says, "Well, I have one of your texts is hitting on me, and I feel uncomfortable," I, as a business owner, pull them aside, see what's going on. If I can't control it, I need to figure it out, and I need to go. Uh, I the issue needs to be taken under consideration and not just left like that. Because if you don't take care of it, it's going to turn into an avalanche.
Right.
Now, on the other hand, you have these people coming out after all these years. I
Yeah.
mean,
20
if
years.
I were to
Jeez.
send a sex toy to somebody, and I mean, that's honest to God, that's creepy. Okay. If you were creeped out, go report it. If you took it as a joke, then laugh about it, whether you're a man or a woman. Don't wait there for all these years and then go report it. That's what I don't understand. That is the part where I just don't get. I don't understand why now. Why is everybody coming out right now?
Right. Right. It's like what changed overnight to where 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you couldn't report it. But now all of a sudden, I guess because, wow, other women are doing it. Okay, now I've got my courage. Now I can report it. It's ridiculous. I
No,
mean,
you
like
should
it,
have had your courage then to make sure that this doesn't happen to other women.
right, right. So, but it's changing our world now because now politicians may not get elected because somebody doesn't like them and they're going to report something. Is it true or is it fake? I mean, like just like the guy that's running for, I don't know if it's a Senate office or what.
What, Alabama?
Yes. Okay.
Teresa, but that's a different story. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about grown women. His situation is we are talking about minors. When a minor is considered in yes, one thing that we know in psychology is minors do not come out and say that they've been sexually mistreated.
Right.
Children are like that because they think that no one will believe them. So the Roy Moore situation in Alabama, I see it as a whole different situation than considering being groping a woman that is an adult. We're talking about minors.
I
Minors
know.
are coming out saying that a 30-year-old man was sexually involved with 14-year-old kids. That's a different story right there.
But here's what I've been following that story very closely. I do agree with you on all aspects of it. Yes,
And
but
he denied it. And on
no,
top of that, it came,
but
they had proof that he knew these girls at that age.
but the one lady says that she has a yearbook that he signed.
Right.
Okay,
And
but
that was the one lady, that was the one person he denied knowing. He's
right,
denied everything.
but the lawyers for Roy Moore are saying, hand over the book. We're going to analyze the signature and the ink, and we will be able to tell you whether that's his signature and whether that ink was even around in that era. And they refuse to have that done. So,
Well, because
this
if a court subpoenas that, it's a different story. I wouldn't hand over evidence to a pedophile's attorney. That's how I see it.
but I'm just saying this thing could either be settled real fast and real easy just by having that analyzed and it could be over with. But the sad thing is
But Teresa,
he's
the
still,
thing, he's not. I mean, this is a pedophile thing. This is not sexual
but
harassment.
we don't have proof yet. There still isn't any proof. That's what I'm saying. There still isn't any proof.
There is proof. There is
Well,
proof, and there's something out there that is eventually going to be brought out. The thing is, handing over a yearbook to a pedophile's attorney and them saying, "Well,
there,
let's take care
no,
of this, and
there,
we're going
no,
to find out." I
no,
would hand it over to the court, and I would have a lab from the court investigate it. But I
no,
wouldn't hand it over to.
no. But I'm not saying that they don't want to hand it over to the pedophile's attorney. They want to hand it over to a mediator and that
But you don't
person,
hand these things over to a mediator. That's the thing, though.
I don't know. All I'm saying is, to me, it could be settled really fast if they could just do that. But here's my other question for you: what is the difference between a woman being raped on the street and a woman being raped in an office?
There's no difference.
Okay, so why is it if a woman is raped on the street and they catch the rapist, they are charged with a crime, right?
Right?
But yet, if someone rapes a woman in an office against her will, they don't get put in
No,
jail. They don't
no,
put
that's
get they don't
not
they don't
that's
they don't
not
get put
true.
they don't get put in jail for it. They just get fired from their job.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
That happened in Matt
Because
Lauer's case.
well, maybe she didn't want to press charges against him. Because
I'm just saying.
when you're raped on the street, there's a whole process of your investigation. There's a rape kit, there's prosecution, there's pressing charges, there's an investigation. You're talking about something that happened 20 years ago. Obviously, they can't use a rape kit on her
No,
to
but I'm
prove
just saying
anything.
this is happening with Lauer and Weinstein. I mean, like all of
Well,
these men.
Weinstein was just a little sick pervert. Everybody knows that about Weinstein. He was a sick pervert. Everybody in the industry in Los Angeles knows what a sick pervert he was. That's a different story. But I mean, we're talking about rape on the streets and rape outside. See, if someone gets raped on the streets right now and they report it, there's laws to protect them.
Right.
But when you're talking about being raped 20 years ago in an office, how are you going to prove that?
Right.
Did you file a police report? Was there a rape kit used to uh, through your thorough, physical examination? I mean, there's a bunch of things that are included in it, and it's the same thing. Had that person
Right.
been raped in that office and filed a report that second when they walked out of that office, Matt Lauer would not be sitting there for 20 years. Of course, he would have been in prison.
But I think the thing that's making me the most saddened here is I'm really sad for the families.
Of course. Do you not
Whether
remember Kobe Bryant when he had rape charges against him
yes,
and
I
he was
remember
cheating
that.
on his wife?
Yes,
So it
yes.
all came out.
No, but I just feel sorry for Matt Lauer's wife and kids. I feel sorry for Roy Moore's wife. I feel, I mean, that's
To
who
be
my
fair,
heart, that's who,
Roy Moore's situation is different than Matt Lauer's situation. As
oh,
we're both parents.
right,
If someone comes to us and tells us someone has touched our daughters who are minors,
right.
that's a different story. I don't know how to feel about that situation compared to Matt Lauer and Harvey Weinstein and other different people that are involved in it. But I can tell you, um, it's totally two
But
different worlds. About a
but
pedophile, and we're talking about adults harassing each other.
I
Sexually.
understand, but what I'm saying is I feel sorry for the wives and the
Of
kids because
course.
as a wife, whether it be Matt Lauer or Roy Moore, oh my God, how sad. And kids, they've got to go to school and listen to people
Of
rant and rave
course.
about their dad. It's just so sad. That's what I'm most sickened about is I feel really bad for the wives and the kids because they're the ones that are going to hurt way more than the people that are doing the offensive things. But
That's
you know,
why I
this
always say when people are involved in such things, you're not just hurting yourself, your career, and whatever you have. The first things you're going to hurt are the closest people to you, which is your family.
right, right,
And someone like Matt Lauer and all these other. Let me tell you the situation with Ann Curry that happened in the Today Show. He was one of the reasons why she left. So there's a lot of things that Matt Lauer was up to. You know,
right,
um, but these people have had careers. These people have gone to colleges, they have Ivy League schools here and there. I mean, they blew their life away with one incident or
right,
two incidents. I don't. The question is, imagine you study all these years, you get this amazing job, you even whether you're in politics, whether you're in TV, here, there, journalism, any kind of a career that involves a enormous amount of studying, achievements, goals, and all of a sudden your stupid mind blows it off for some bullshit that you do to somebody else in
right.
regards to sexual harassment. Is it worth it?
Well, so yeah, so let's look at this. Matt Lauer, 59 years old,
Yeah.
and who's going to hire him now?
No one is going to hire him now. So
So
he's going to
how
have to take all those millions that he has and live with it.
exactly? I mean, it's just like your career is over with, and how you make a living is probably over with. I mean, like
His career is done. All of their careers are done.
it's sad. I just sit there and look at him and go, nobody's going to hire you. So how are you going to make a living now? You're going to have to sell all of your properties and put the millions in the bank. Then your wife's probably going to divorce you, and then you're going to lose half your fortune there too. So it's
Yeah,
like, really, was it really worth it?
exactly. Was it worth it?
But that brings up the topic of, now companies are going to have to go back and re-educate their employees on sexual harassment and reiterate how they're going to lose their careers if any of them are ever reported. I mean, like, they're going to have to just go back and do a whole new manual, I guess, on sexual harassment for people in the
Absolutely.
workforce.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Everything is going to be changed from now on. Everything.
and are men going to feel like they don't even have a voice anymore? But you know what? Sexual harassment can be the other way around too.
It can, and it is.
There's plenty of men that get sexually harassed.
Of course. Of course.
So
But
I don't
see,
know.
we don't take it as harassment. When a woman sexually harasses most men, they take it as a compliment. Unless they start getting involved in your life and start destroying whatever you have in order to
Right.
get, then that's a crime. But most men that are sexually harassed in work environments, they like it.
Well, and I can remember 20, 30 years ago, if some guy said something kind of sexually towards me, I took it as a compliment. I mean, I was like, wow. I mean, I never looked at it like he was hurting me or degrading me or anything. I mean, I don't know. I just, like I said, I'm a grown woman. I know how to defend myself. Yeah, I don't see how someone can have that kind of power over someone. I
Exactly.
really
And as a
don't.
woman, you know your rights too.
Right,
So
right,
in order to protect yourself, you need to stand up and bring this situation out to the light the second that it happens.
right. I mean, like I can remember when I was working for Bally Total Fitness as a regional district supervisor. One of my head PT guys had a sexual harassment allegation against him, and it was really weird because this front desk woman had repeatedly flirted with him. I mean, it went on for months where she was always flirting with him, and he was a former NFL player. He had, his big ring uh, for the Super Bowl and everything, and she flirted with him constantly. But the day he flicked her on the butt with a pencil, she reported him. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I have stood here and watched this woman egg him on, sexually, you know, flirt with him.
Yeah.
But the day she walks past him and he decides to flick her on the butt with a pencil, that was sexual harassment.
Yeah.
And he almost lost his job over it. And I was so mad at that young lady because he was such a great guy. But it was like, wait a minute, you know, do you guys want to hear about how she sexually flirted with him for months on end?
And that's coming from you as a woman, an
Yes.
outsider seeing that. That's why I'm telling you, you need to convince me if that a woman was totally innocent and this happened to her.
If a woman is totally innocent and this happens to her, then I do feel sorry for her.
And she
But
needs to go out and get protected and stop
yes,
this from happening to other people. This is what I'm saying. You need to stop it.
yes, I agree with you totally. But as a woman, I'm also saying that it is not right for women to egg men on or sexually flirt with them constantly. And then when the table turns and suddenly something happens and they think that their rights have been violated, I have to look at that woman and go, well, what the hell were you doing? I'm like, I visually sat there and saw you flirt with him and bring this on.
On top of that, Teresa, um, many of them, as soon as, for example, a man doesn't give them the attention that they need, they do the same thing as well, and vice versa.
Right.
So this is not just a man or a or a woman issue. This is both worlds.
Right.
And I guess if someone wants to destroy someone, they can easily do it.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say is, if it's happening to you,
Yes.
please report it that second, so you can put a stop to it happening to someone else.
Yes. Very much
I
so.
think it would be very selfish of someone to not go out and not get down to this that second, because if it happened to you, it's going to happen to others. If
Hmm.
someone is a thief, they're going to be a thief everywhere. If someone's an asshole, they're going to be an asshole at all times. If someone is doing this once, I'm sure they've done it before, they'll do it again.
Right.
That's what
Right.
I'm trying to say. And I guess
So
everybody that I say this to, all of my female friends, they don't understand what I'm trying to say.
I don't know why they say that, because it's plain as day. I mean, like, you know, that's the only way it's going to stop, is if people come forward and report it when it happens, instead of 20, 30 years later, because now,
Exactly.
you have to wonder about their credibility when it takes that much time,
Yeah.
seriously. So I guess the takeaway here is, come on, ladies, if it's happening to you, the only way it's going to stop is for you to report it and help protect other innocent women.
Yeah. If
Don't
it
don't
happened to you, and if it honestly happened to you, it's happening to others.
Right, right. So what a great topic. Thanks again, Maz, for cashing this out with me. sometimes we
Always.
sometimes we like to argue. We
Well,
have
that's
different
that's
points
the
of
that's
view,
the
and it's a
beauty of
great
it.
thing.
That's the beauty of it. Yeah, that's it. But debates are always a beauty in a conversation is when two people get to speak different minds and not always agree.
Oh yeah, and because then it helps open up your eyes to the other side too,
Exactly.
So once again, guys, get out there and find me everywhere on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And until next week, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Maz.
Thanks, Teresa. Bye, everybody.